So here in the ceiling is the wiring for the 5.1 surround sound. The reason they're coming out of two separate boxes is because there's a steel beam here that crosses through the room, and I don't want to drill through the steel beam, so the speakers that are going to this side of the ceiling come out of this box, and the ones on this side of the ceiling on this box. So I'll get started here. What I'm doing is labeling them, terminating each end and labeling it here. And I'm using RG58 cable for the positive and the negative. In this case, I'm identifying the positive with a band of heat shrink, and I've also got some printed out labels that describe the signal on both ends of the cable. So I'm going to get started, show you how to do that. I've got one that's close by right here. It's going along the joist, and I've done this one already. This one here, this is for the right front, which is going up in the ceiling. And these wires here coming down the wall, they're going to be going into that junction box right here and terminating into a banana jack. And so what I'm going to do is start working with this set of wires here. So I'm just going to use this as my work surface, and I'm going to use a straight razor here and trim back about 1 inch of the jacket. It's pretty easy to do. You just roll the cable, and you can feel it when it goes down and meets the shield. And then I'll just make a cut like this. Again, you can feel it when it's touching the braid. You don't want to cut the braid, you just want to don't want to damage it. So you end up with that. And next thing, I'm going to take a little Phillips screwdriver and just unbraid it. And once I get it unbraided, then I can peel these the drain wires back away. I want to pull them back as far as I can. Now I'm going to strip the center conductor. And on this, this is RG58. The center conductor is a solid 20 gauge. So I will put it in the appropriate strip gauge there. And now what I'm going to do is pull the jacket back as far as I back up on there if I can, and I'll just start twisting the drain or the shield right onto the center conductor. Then I've got a crimp ferrule here, uninsulated crimp ferrule. I'm just going to slide that over everything and use a crimping tool to crimp that down. And then the next step here would be to trim off the excess. And on this one, I'm just going to arbitrarily say this is the positive. And in that case, I can go ahead and identify it with a band here. I've got a heat gun here. I can just shrink that onto it. Now on the other end of the cable, I'm going to have to use an ohm meter to figure out which one is this cable. And there's a lot of ways to do that. So I've got just some clear tape. You can use some clear heat shrink tubing if you happen to have some. And so I've got these labels printed just on paper. And the one I'm after right now is the South Woofer Positive. So I'll just take that label and put it on the back of this sticky side of this tape, and cut off a little bit of it here. is my south woofer positive connection. Of course, since it's going in that box, I'll pretty much know that's the south woofer just because of where it is. But I want to put the same label on both ends of the cable, so that's a pretty good idea. It's well identified and it's and well terminated. And then I'll just do the same thing with the negative here. But before I do that, what I want to do now is turn my attention over to these cables here. And I want to find out which one of those is the south woofer. I know it's one of these. I've got it labeled here, south woofer. I just need to figure out which one of these is the positive. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to strip one of them back and check it. Do the same thing, I'll peel back the braid. Now a real easy way to do it, since these are so close together, I've got my ohm meter here. I can just check it and see if I've got continuity. Between the one I just terminated here, the positive, and the one I just opened up here. And yes, I do have continuity between this shield and this. So I know this is the positive, so I can go ahead and finish the termination on the other one. And when I come back, I'll know this one here is the positive. And I can also go ahead and label it with some heat shrink. And I do have some temporary labels I've put on just to organize the cables while I'm working on it. So this goes on a one gang box, and it's designed in two ways. You can actually just put a banana jack right into the back, but what I'm going to be doing is opening it up here like that, and putting, in this case, this one's the positive, it's labeled, it's red. So then this will go into there like that and get cinched down basically. And then the negative one go in the same way. And that goes into the box. And I'll have to put a bend in that a little bit because to go into the box, but you can see the cable will go on there. And that'll be up into the box. And what I might do is rotate that so this one's coming down that way and this one's maybe going up that way, so they will curve around. But that's how it's going to be terminated in the wall. And then from the outside, once it's drywalled, you can just plug right into the woofer. That'll be just sitting on the floor. So that's the plan, and now I just have to go through and label the rest of the speaker runs. I've got 2 here that I've done. I've got a lot more to go.